Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. This is a scene for Darkness in Dublin, the vampire venue. In the start of this scene, you stand within a vast walled courtyard. Once long ago, when the British ruled the city, this was an exercise space for their most feared prison. Now it stands a testament to the Sabbat. All around the perimeter, their bodies crucified, covered in bite marks and other wounds. These poor souls scream out, but only the darkness of a starless night greets them. At the center of the many dozens of leering, predatory figures, there stands a massive bonfire that has still yet to be lit. But tonight many shall dance the fire dance and scream with exultation, louder than charred wounds upon their bodies. We start the scene like this.
Walking in quite confidently. She looks already ready for warfare, almost wearing very militaristic clothing, leading. Her people have arrived with the vessels already. She's moving just coldly, ready. Even if she don't find her worthy, she'll win in a moment so easily. As Amelia Collins just walks into the exterior courtyard and just kind of stands there smoking her cigarette, waiting.
And alongside them is Spudgun, who is accompanying Amelia, his ductus of the ICRA. He, at the behest of his ductus, utilized his own connections and also his own particular abilities, the peculiarities of blood, to facilitate the gathering of the vessels for the little feast that was requested. Each of the packs attend and provide a morsel for everyone to feed upon. He walks in with Amelia, and upon, shall we say, putting the vessels themselves in a state where they will be, where no possible harm will happen to them for the moment, and no harm will come to them. He simply stands by Amelia as they smoke their cigarette, just looking out upon the courtyard. This one of them fire dances I hear about?
Just a grim nod. Yeah, this is the real shit. Right. Smiling.
Don't think we were the only people here, though. Can you hear anyone?
She'll look over her shoulder, looking at probably the people who are about to walk in, with a big smile on her face, like absolutely ready, even if she doesn't go for warfare.
And Q?
Yeah, we were waiting on you guys. We didn't want to hog the scene.
We didn't want to hog this. We didn't want to hog the introductions.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. Thank you. Just want to make sure so I didn't cut people off. So here's where we're bringing the vessels, correct?
Yeah, we have Amelia and Spudgun have all theirs kind of beside them, like stoic and, ready.
Yep. So Zorana will probably come on in with presumably Lola and Rose.
Mm-hmm. It seems like Rose is having some issues with their mic, so we're just going to assume that they're with us.
Okay. So Zorana has basically requested that all of their vessels be basically like they've got bags over their heads and shit. Cloth bags, not plastic bags, because they cannot suffocate.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that Amelia and I can't pronounce the nickname, Jason, so I'm just going to go with Joe. It's just Spud Gun?
Spud Gun.
Alrighty. Yeah. First thing Spud Gun and Amelia are probably going to notice is, yeah, there's more than 8 people. They definitely got more than 8.
For the people walking in, they have at least 20 flanked all around them.
Yeah, we went the extra mile.
All right, that's legit. It seems like everyone had the same idea.
Hello.
There you go.
Rose, you're good.
Yep. We hear you.
Rose walks in to the exterior courtyard. She has a big old grin on her face. She's no longer dirty. Wearing the same outfit as she was originally seen in rainbow miniskirt and a white blouse. She looks much like what the picture shows. She's just wandering around looking and poking at everything that she can.
Alrighty. As Rose comes in, Zorana does tap her on the shoulder quite lightly.
Rose turns.
When Wade is not here, myself and Lola will be in charge of you. You will do nothing to cause a fuss.
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
I'll do my best.
All I can ask for.
So just behind Rose, Patrick walks in, wearing a nondescript practical black dress. Alongside him is presumably everyone else from his patch is here, and they're bringing in 8 prize blood dolls bound in cages and a small gaggle of additional food. He glances around, gives a respectful nod to anyone of rank he recognises, and yeah, beyond that, keeps quiet for the moment.
Rose smirks. See what I brought in? I brought in a fancy lad. Rose says as she points to one of the sacrifices.
Amelia will get an amused smirk and lift her hand in a fist, and she will say behind her, "What are you here for?" And you'll hear from all the 20 vessels, "To serve." They'll answer all in unison.
Smudgun smiles, in part, mainly because he was probably responsible for that kind of conditioning.
Yeah, she'd like put an arm on like Spudgun's shoulder, smirking.
Yeah. It was good to have that kind of power.
Oh yeah. That's what we're supposed to have. She'll grin savagely.
Aye. Don't need to threaten anyone with a shovel or no.
My compliments. You've been busy over there.
Of course it's busy. It's what we fucking do, man. What the fucking workhorse is here, man?
Like, oh my god, that is so awesome.
Just a grin emerges on her face. Where's the sword?
Aye.
We sacrifice for that. So it makes us who we are.
And that phrase sums up not just the history of the Zabat, but pretty much the history of Ireland.
Just look around and smile. Could say the history of the Bruja as well.
Aye.
But I didn't get your name. And she started, to probably like keep hold of Spud Gun as they're walking, and the vessels march with them almost like military style of a walk.
Patrick Emily, Duchess of the Seashore Pack.
There's a smile as she extends her hand, out to shake.
He'll gladly accept it.
The grip is like steel. You just hear it and you can even feel your hand clamping. And she gives you a warrior's grip, so by the elbow. Amelia Collins, Duchess of the ICRA.
And what does that stand for?
Turns to her packmate, almost like expecting him to answer.
And Spud Gun clears his throat. Irish Cainite Republican Army. We serve a better cause, a greater cause than that of a united Ireland.
Good sentiment.
She'll smile at him. Your name means freedom, right?
Yes, that does. He will reply in Gaelic.
Nods. Smiles, like you've just answered the right question type of smile.
It seems appropriate, as I said, the history of the Zabat and the history of Ireland. Well, I hope there's room in the higher cause to free Ireland along the way.
Turns to look at her packmate. What do you think about that?
What else do we need to fucking say? We're all here for the same reason. We're all here for a noble cause. We're all here for making sure that we take what's ours. And that it never gets taken away from us.
She looked down to Rose as well, who's been kind of pottering around from what she's seeing, and smile at her. It's good to see you again.
Yes, it is. It's been great.
You survived. Good.
I mean, I have to if I want to do the best.
Well, she's got the right idea.
Got to admire the enthusiasm of the youth.
You look over at the duck just watching over and just give a nod of respect, very formal. Inhaling cigarette smoke through her nostrils.
Why do you smoke?
The nicotine's nice. Keeps me calm.
Does it?
No, not really. She'll grin, looking over at Spud Gun.
Yeah, Spud Gun's... He's been dead long enough to know that he... Whilst it's questionable whether or not he's ever had a cigarette before, from what he's seen, usually vampires don't usually like the fire. In fact, that was probably one of the first things that he ever learned as a vampire, beyond the need to feed. But yeah, he's just kind of looking at the Amelia smoking the cigarette with kind of like one half confusion and one half awe. Like somehow they've either managed to find some way for a Cainite to smoke a cigarette, or they're just doing it to show off.
She'd take another drag and lean down to Rose, and her eyes will go this wild green colour. I'll tell you what. Fire terrifies the shit out of us all. Did you see me running away from it? I smoke a cigarette because it reminds me. Fire is just a tool. And you never accept defeat of a tool.
Dearest Rose, just remember, a calm Bruja is an oxymoron. No matter how calm they may look, there is a storm right underneath the skin. And she'll nod towards Amelia. Perfect example.
Oh yeah, Amelia smiles, but like, yeah, exactly. Their eyes are like wild.
And just remember, saying
She kind of examine everyone's herd gathered, and she just nod. Respectable, good quality.
I could say the same of you. Just comes.
Not neutral nod of respect. We sacrifice the ones we take blood from. It's the only way to show proper respect. For if we're not sacrificing, then we're not doing our duty to Caine, are we?
I suppose you have a point. I wonder, if I could ask, how did you get them to be so docile?
Places her hand on her packmate with this big smile on her face.
Spudgun just smiles also. I can convince people to do things that they want, that I want them to do. I don't know why my accent is going into Scottish all of a sudden. I'm sorry about that.
It's hard switching from Northern Irish to Scottish. I feel your pain.
Well, I can only do Northern Ireland, I'm afraid. It goes from working for someone from there for like 8 years. I can make them do what I want them to do. It's not really all that difficult. You just got to be persuasive. Give them the right amount of force. Sometimes that takes the form of a shovel to the head. But at the end of the day, same result, no?
Mm-hmm.
Power is power. Lifts her hand up again, and all the men just you know what I mean? It's like stand to attention. Even one in particular, she seems like she's literally fresh off the boat.
Zorana just looks and she inspects but doesn't really touch.
Yeah, they all seem pretty good quality. Some are picked up off the street, yes, but most of them are pretty good quality.
Can always get more if we needed them, though.
That'll be later. Don't you worry.
Aye. So what about you? Where did you get yours?
Lila will look. Sorry, continue.
Oh, she'll say myself and my household. We searched in quite a many places. We went to some slightly more upscale places. We even looked around at some of the universities. It was difficult to find people that would not be missed, yet were not of a specific class. And, just to emphasize this, look down to the dogs that are pretty much always with her.
Shopping can be so difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I get it.
Stitches does have difficulty going out at night sometimes. She'll grin to herself.
Reminds me, I really need to learn how to talk to dogs.
Just a grin on her face. But I'm impressed. University does bring good stock, even if they are the rich and pompous.
Aye.
Lolo will look to Zorana, kind of quirk an eyebrow. We had to find people who are specifically good quality. Favorites. That we know will bring in smiles, I guess you could say. Would that be the correct term, Ductus?
Yes. Or for those of you that are not able to smile, whether it's because of a specific path you follow, or because you lack the muscles. I've seen that before. Satisfaction.
Are you ready for the fire if they don't deem it worthy?
I would like to think so, but I'd also like to think I wouldn't fail.
Just nods in respect. No, failure can't be tolerated. Look specifically at Rose, like almost like nodding at her. Maybe just smiles at the silence then and just kind of will nod to herself and begin to like walk back calmly, putting her hands in her pockets. Like she's vibrating with violence. That's the best word I can describe it. Back over to her herd, the vessels, inspecting them all.
Yeah, and Spudgun will go with Amelia and the vessels that he dominated into doing what they want them to do. And he'll probably, catch up to Amelia before he'll, try and get their attention. Hey, boss. You've seen the bishops, haven't you?
Few of them, aye.
What do you make of them? I mean, I've only just been about the place for a little while, mostly just like sorting out the electrics. Practically just calling me Lord Lecky, but most of the electricity in there wasn't even, well, I nearly jumped my sen on like maybe 3 or 4 fuses. The place hadn't been seen over for a couple of years, I don't think.
Well, they talk enough, at least. She
Aye.
smirked to herself. And the Zemitzi, he thinks the right ways that we do. Predators survive in this world. Just gotta learn how to break the chain.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones, they just talk and talk. But that's what they need and what they make themselves feel better at night about, I suppose. Pay no mind. Just looking over at the other ductuses, really like waiting for somebody, almost like she's like, yeah, I know I'm spouting oil this shit.
It's like,
And Spud going for his part. It looks like he has some. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I met with our bishop a few nights ago. Very interesting. Have you heard the latest from the war front?
Bits and pieces.
They
Looks
say
like
They say the Nosferatu Primogen is still at large in the city.
Huh.
No one's been able to find him, unsurprisingly.
Aye.
So if anyone's got any bright ideas how to find an elder Nosferatu, I'm sure that will go down well.
Well, rats do like to scurry around underground. Take away the underground and what have they got left?
So they think he's the one coordinating the resistance in the suburbs.
Maybe we might go pay his visit. Spudgun, what you think?
Aye, I think we should.
Good.
Pay that shite a fucking visit and drop him a napalm enema.
If you can find him.
Or maybe we'll go cause some havoc on his stock and see what a rat looks like when it's hungry.
Aye.
Rise, Glint.
So what else do they say? Oh, they think one of the Primogen got away and the rest are presumed dead. So mostly a win, frankly.
I don't think mostly is really a win, is it, though? Would you say, boss?
Well, you can't kill all the cavalry in one night. It could be realistic. But if Primogen when the city fell, that's got to be good going.
But there's always room for more, isn't there?
Well, there's always more nights for more. Yes, I mean there's still the prince to deal with. The goddamn Tremere.
Just spit on the ground.
I hear they're still.
Toronto perks up at the mention of Tremere.
Yeah, Spudgun also spits on the ground. He sees that Amelia is expressing disdain for said Tremere, and basically he's following suit.
Oh yeah, no. Zorana can see it when the Tremere turns to me. He just leans over and just on the ground, you know.
Amelia can probably see it too. Zamisi intensifies when Tremere is mentioned.
Rose looks confused. Is there something I'm missing?
Lot of old history, bad blood. Rose.
Wretches. Worms. Filth. That's what they are.
Like all of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
You look over at the Zemitzi, you know, you just look over, like waiting for the fucking Zemitzi moment where they're all talking about how bad the Tremere is, you know, almost waiting.
I've never met a single Tremere that I would not consider a boil in the night that needs to be lanced. They are false. Everything about them is false. They usurp vampirism.
Hello,
Lords
people.
of the night. My bad. The people got Zorana going about the Tremere.
Oh no. At this point, because apparently other people can't do it, so I said I would run in and do it very quickly because I still have my other scene going. A herald will move outside dressed in the black and crimson of the court and will announce very loudly to the outside of the scene. Patrick O'Malley is required inside by the graces of Her Grace the Archbishop. I would recommend moving quickly.
Give a goodbye nod and head on in.
I will point out he has been requested alone without his pack. That's important, but I'm going to go back to my other hangout.
Okay.
Spudgun, after the herald has left, and also presumably with Patrick as well. See you, Nathan.
Bye.
Look towards Amelia. Are the graces of Her Grace?
The Archbishop, aye. Her Majesty. She'll grin.
No, I meant the wording. Graces of Her Grace.
That's what they like to call themselves.
Oh, aye. So I forgot.
I hope it's terrible for him.
Was he not one of your friends?
He is a friend, but also a rival. Rose clutches her fist. He's in my spot.
He's in your spot, is he?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But
What are you
not
gonna-
for too long.
And what are you going to do about it?
I'm gonna bide my time, and then I'll challenge him. And I will win because I'm the best.
Big talk coming from someone that hasn't finished the creation rites yet.
I have no fear for that. I know I'm going to be fine. Rose starts tapping her leg with her hand, her left hand to her leg.
Oh, my, you got back just in time for Zorana to smile.
Oh shit. Now I'm concerned. Okay. Let me sit down.
I mean, he just looks, casts a amused glance at this little Malkavian going, yeah, I'm the shit, you know? Dr. Sarana, what do you think? Do you think she's the next big deal among our groups on?
We'll have to see how she responds to our Lord's creations. Very many that are new to the night, and even some that are older to it, don't have much stomach for our artistic expression.
It's the eyes. Too many. She smiles. Especially when they all look at you. It's a bit, you know, I can see why some people have vomited up and show weakness.
I have to say, it's not entirely. I can see where it comes from. Everyone has to go through that reaction at first to come to the proper appreciation. It's a bit like an acquired taste.
Like cocaine?
More like I reach inside and then I flip your lungs over just to see what happens. Full shrug.
Rose shivers, remembering her heartbeat being pumped once.
Have you ever killed anyone yet? Rose starts taking slow steps towards her, a smile growing on her face.
Not yet, no.
Then how do you know what it's like to actually go and take over something if you haven't killed yet?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't know.
See,
So why should I let that stop me?
she'll kneel down in front of her, like actually kneel down. So it's almost like I'm face to face with you now. Kneel. See, when I was young and I was still beaten, they showed you how to kill quite easily. But it's not about being fancy with a blade or pumping a shotgun into somebody's chest or ripping out someone's spine. Gotta have the will to do it and not regret it afterwards like some whelp. Do you think you can do that?
I mean, if we're talking about when we were still human, I don't even know what I was capable of. I'm a blank slate. I can be capable of anything.
Well, I hope you're right. Just stand. Because otherwise you'll be nothing but ash by the end of it all.
Then that means I wasn't Worthy.
She pats her on the head like, yeah, that's a good answer. You know.
Rose smiles a big cheesy grin.
What do you think, Spud Gun? Do you think she's able for it? She just kind of goes and sits down, you know, lighting the cigarette again.
I don't know. See a lot of licks around here that have this look about them. They look more like fucking, you know, the models that you see on the bus. You know, on the borders. But then you see them do things that you never expect, even, you know, the most cold-hearted killer do. Then you see some people who look like they're built like fucking brick shithouses, but when it comes to getting involved in a fight, ain't nothing that they can do that some old biddy couldn't do. Who knows? Maybe they'll be... maybe they'll have a couple of ears sewed to their belt by the end of whatever it is that they've got to do. Or, you know, they'll just be fucking worm food. Fuck if I know. I mean, I've already got a few notches on my shovel, haven't I?
Hey, you're a good boy. You know how to fight. You've been doing well.
I learned from the best, didn't I?
She'll grin. Look over at the Zmitzi again, smiling. What about your pack? Have they had much experience combat-wise?
Quite a bit, yes. Looks over to Lola, who was probably off doing something else because Maya ain't here right now. Even if they don't, well, even if we do not have the raw talent for it, it's like you said, the will to do it, or just the raw aggression of it.
It's a nod. It's good. Very good. She grins to herself.
And my puppies are always good. And she'll pet the dog, one of the dogs, wag their tail.
Puppies.
Would you like to touch it again, Rose? I'm sure they want to be pet by you.
Last time you told me to pet your dogs, they tried to bite my hand off. I'm not falling for it again.
They won't do it this time.
As much as I want to give them all my love, I can't. I don't trust it. Rose huffs and just turns her back to you.
Zorana is sad that didn't work, but also high-key, like, okay, cool, it didn't work.
You should meet our goat.
Aye.
Good boy.
Really good boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I want to learn how to talk to animals, so I can actually get some proper wisdom. Hear their voice directly.
He's an angry fucker.
Aye.
You wake up in the morning and you see him right in front of your face and he just bah at you.
Yeah. But he's the greatest of all time, though, so don't be talking no shit.
I ain't talking no shit about the goat, don't you worry.
No. I'm not saying that you weren't talking any shite, but any of these cunts will be talking any shite and they'll be getting my shovel in their face.
Immediate sparks look down.
I mean, how could anyone talk about your goat? I don't know your goat. What is there to be said about a goat? It
He's our
bleeds.
goat, isn't he?
Yep.
He's the greatest of all time.
Jerry's his name.
Aye.
Jerry the goat?
Yeah, Jerry Adams
Yeah.
the goat.
Yeah.
We even have like a picture of him up on the wall and everything. It's just
Nice.
smirk.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to. I'm dying.
Me and Torna have the biggest grins ever. This is precisely the reason why we named them that.
She'll ruffle in her pocket very calmly. Mid. No.
Jerry the goat.
She'll hold out a picture. There you go.
And there's
See?
Jerry.
So she'll point to the dude that's next to the goat and she'll just say, "Who is that?"
He's not important.
Is
Nah, he's
he
just a cheap
Jerry's or
knockoff.
is Jerry's his?
That's Jerry and Jerry. That's both Jerry Adams. You see, important figure
Aye.
like.
Hmm.
That's how we found the goat. We found a claim to fame with that, so we went and looked for him and got him.
Mm.
Ah, so you appropriated the goat from this man.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just found the sentimental picture, and since half of us can't take pictures, so consolation prize, I guess.
Aye.
Mhm. And how is Jerry Adams the goat doing now?
He's fine. He's fine. He's just aggressive.
Most
He's the
goats
best
are.
sentry I've ever seen.
They're
He's the best
social
sentry I've
creatures.
ever seen. Yeah. I don't know. He needs spoke on about 5 times yesterday when we were getting stuff, so it was pretty funny.
Mhm. Well, do you have a goat companion for it?
We're working on it. We're working on it.
That's good. They're social creatures and they can die of loneliness.
Just smile. You
It's
could have
pathetic
multiple
to see.
goats.
Well, yes. But just the one, not usually a good picture.
Yeah, but we bring him with us sometimes. We do take care of him, like.
Aye. Sees all our best work up front.
That's good. It's also useful for disposal. If you get a pig and the goat, then you're set. Pigs can chew through bone, digest it easily.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, Spudgun looks at Amelia when that is said. Didn't I see that in a movie once?
Snatch.
Aye, that's the one.
That could work, actually. Should turn and look at the woman who suggests that. It's a good idea.
No, even Zeron's looking over the lower like, shit.
That.
We'll look at Zerana and just pointedly.
Yes.
I suggested it.
In fact,
You didn't want to. You didn't want vermin in the haven,
Right. Yes.
and unfortunately, a pig does count as vermin.
hey,
Yes.
boss.
Hmm.
Wasn't there a pig farm? Yeah, not all that far away.
There is?
Aye.
Shit.
Maybe we should pay a visit some night.
Alright, as soon as we survive this, pack
Aye.
adventure then.
Aye. Grab Stitches, grab... Fuck it, we'll grab everyone, including the goat.
We'll make a family trip out of it. Claps your
Aye.
hands. Although, we'll have to get a separate place for them, though, because, the goat's fine, he doesn't make too of us, but I imagine a lot of pigs will, stink up the place.
I reckon that the best way would probably be just for us to either control the people running the farm or make it a kind of a secondary haven or something. I don't know. What do you think, boss?
Could just expand to get a new place, or we could raid a place, take it over, use that as the pig depository, and keep our own place. Either way.
Aye.
Hey, folks. Two folks are emerging from the interior. Myself and Jack's character Everett Nosferatu. He'll be here in just a second. They're sent out to make a proclamation and then go forth and mingle, and then they're sending in one of the other packs or the other members of Sheshore, I believe.
Saoirse.
Okay.
So it's pretty much between like our pack or Tornus pack.
I think so. Just 1 second.
Hey, yo, Torn and Jason, I ain't going front. I got like half an hour before I have to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, do you mind if I go ahead and handle it right quick, just so that way, like?
Yeah. No, dude, do what you gotta do, man.
Here you go.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, bud.
No worries.
Okay, he should be here any second. Unless you just, well, eh. You know what? Since we'll just be mingling at that point anyways, I'll just do it now if that's okay. Julian will just step out along with the other members of the Knights of Blood pack and clear his throat and say, the Ductus Cassian of the First Order of etc., the rest of that pack name that I cannot remember, has 1 week to procure the former sheriff of Dublin by the name of Hennessy. If he fails in this task, he will be the subject of a bat hunt. Also, Her Grace would like the, or Eminence, whichever the appropriate title is, would request that the remainder of the Saoirse pack to enter and join their Ductus, or whichever.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
Once Amelia sees Julian, she actually gets a big smile on her face. Waves.
It doesn't look like the same guy.
Oh, it doesn't look like the same guy. Okay, so she just nods then. She's like,
Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I forgot you had faceless.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, Spudgun just looks at this guy and then looks over towards Amelia. It's another person I don't fucking know.
No, I've never seen him before.
Rose waves by, and with that, she disappears.
As Rose is walking away, and as you guys say that, I'll just make the roll. Let's see, /R. See, it's intelligence medicine, I believe. So that's 8, 10. Oh, yeah. He flawlessly undulates, which is really creepy looking. And back to this form.
Hang on now. I have the face when she does that. Where are we now? Video. That one. She zooms in, stares at you, and on her face, staring at you.
Just like, really?
Like, what?
Spudgun for his part, he just kind of raises his own eyebrow and then he kind of like leans into Amelia. I should have thought it was that shower of shite.
I know that guy.
Aye. Saw him as well.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. To just stand up, kind of just like shaking her head with the face of fucking Zamitzi. She's walking over.
Julian will smile.
How you doing?
Not too badly. Our introduction went as well as could be expected.
You're looking well anyway.
Well, we wouldn't call it an introduction, but you know what I mean. Damn it.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking
It's not a cabbie court. By the way, out of character, I know once people bring in their chattel, they're all getting like taken by the Archbishop. I thought they said something about them being distributed out here. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them are like with the pack itself, like Amelia's people, and like Amelia and Spuggun have their herd with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone brings in their. Yeah, exactly. I think both our pack and the First Order had a lot of people.
Yeah, so did we.
Yours probably had more than us. There were 17 people on our group, and I believe something like a dozen for First Order.
There's 20 people there behind Spuggun and Amelia.
Nice.
All standing militaristically.
He looks fairly impressed at that.
Want to see something cool? She'll lead him whisper in.
Shrugs slightly.
Turns. Smiles at Spuggun because Spuggun gets the kick. She gets a fucking kick out of this. Lifts her hand. What are you here for? And all of them say, to serve. You know what I mean? All echoing.
Where did you find them?
It is a
Unless
mix
that
of...
would be a trade secret or anything.
You grin. Why don't you answer, Spuggun?
We found them at the getting place. And that's about all I'm going to tell you. But what I will tell you is this though. Some of us know how to convince people to do things that need to be done, that should be done. Some gifts of the blood, you might say.
Oh, they did seem to be walking in lockstep. Well, standing in lockstep.
Aye. Sometimes it needs only a kind word to get someone to do what you need them to do. Other times, you need a firm word.
And other times you can simply hobble them and remove their tongues.
Well, that too, but...
Yeah, that's what my shovel's for.
Plus, we offered some of our own that we feed from regularly as a sacrifice. We're not doing our job by Caine if we don't.
Nope.
Again, he seems somewhat impressed. Like, that's dedication.
Where'd you get yours from then, pal? She leans up again, against the wall.
I brought 2 from my workplace. The others, I could not say. I did not have a chance to ask my pack about that.
Those 2 annoy you at the Christmas party, did they? She'll wink.
They
annoy you at the Christmas party, did they? She'll wink.
No. One of them, I believe, was an intern, and the other was a patient. But in excellent health, I can attest.
Oh, that's a good thing then. As long as, claps her hands. As long as you made the cut anyway. And then she'll look over at Lottie. I didn't get your name.
Lola.
Oh,
I'm
Lolly.
Lola.
Els, sorry. She smile. Amelia.
Nice
And
to meet you.
I didn't hear your character's name. Sorry.
I'm Lola.
Lilla?
Lola.
Okay.
You know the song? Lola, she was a showgirl. Well, I am Lola, but I'm not a showgirl.
Oh, Lola.
What clan are you? Raises an intrigued eyebrow.
Why, I must storm under the skin. She'll give Amelia a wink.
Ah, just smile then. I see. Just wink back.
I just happen not to be so outwardly storm-like. But it gives people very unsettling feelings, and that just tickles me.
I can respect that, but when you're in a position of leadership, you do have to bring that extra bit of flair to your work.
Oh, no, definitely. I do quite agree.
Oh, and
But also, just so y'all know, Lila also has the obvious predator flaw, so even though she's quiet, there's always something very unsettling about her.
eat.
Amelia has the bruiser merit as well, so she looks basically like a thug walking around the place.
Figure now is as good a time as any to introduce my character. Kind of a tall, thin man walks. He kind of steps from near where Soyland's character's at. Says, "My name is Everett. Clan Nosferatu, if you can't tell." The kind of a wry smile. His skin looks like he's been a victim of a chemical attack. There's kind of a slight sheen of oil. Just says, and as you can tell by my accent, I'm from over the pond. Did my bit in Iraq and got out. Wanted to come and see this city, and now it looks like this is going to be my home for a very long time. Pleased to meet all of you.
Amelia will incline her head. What part of America are you from?
The southeast, little place called Fort Lauderdale.
Nice. From Baton Rouge myself.
Yeah, the funny thing is, it's the farther north you go in my state, the more southern you get. So we're not. He says, "I'm just a boy from the suburbs." But now look at me. He just kind of smiles again. That's a fucking kick.
That's part of the cause, anyway. Could be worse. Can't get any uglier, right?
Can't get any uglier. Well, I have the privilege of wearing my curse outwardly, and there's no denying what I am. Unlike what those ivory tower fucks would do in their what they do in their Rolls Royce, what they do in their high towers. They try to hide the monster. There's no hiding it with me. Gotta love that.
Looks over at Spudgun, nods in agreement. Well, he has the right idea anyway.
Aye. How long did it take you to get to that conclusion?
When he said "fuck the Camarilla," she'll bring back at the knot.
I had a bit of an odd embrace for a Nosferatu. Sire, at least I figured it out when I was in Iraq with my squad on a nighttime patrol, and we must have fucking woke him up, my sire. And he fed on all of my squad. And I decided it was time to exercise the discretion is the best part of valor and run. They found out, they thought I was crazy and drummed me out. Luckily, an old friend pulled a favor for me, got me honorably discharged, and I knew that face when I came here to Dublin. When I got out of the army, I saw him again after drinking, and he embraced me in some back alley and never spoke to me since. But when I was wandering these when I was wandering the streets and later the sewers just for pure survival, my pack found me and taught me the right ways thankfully before one of those weak Camarilla did.
Didn't know we had some number in Iraq.
I'm sorry, what was that?
He said, didn't know we had some of our number in Iraq.
So, I was never very good at school, but what I did like was the only subject I really did like was history, and from what I remember, that's old land. It's very, very old land, and I don't know what my sire is. I don't know if he's Camarilla Sabat or what the fuck ever, but I know what I am. So
That's the main thing then.
yeah. Oh.
Just nod. Well, if you ever need a helping hand in taking the fight back to those fucks over in the tower, well, me and the boys would be happy to help.
Aye.
Nothing like spilling some blood to bond up a group.
From what I understand, we'll definitely have our share of opportunities. We were granted the domain, or whatever the equivalent term is, I forget. I cannot remember the name that Evan gave it. It was like Temple Oak or something like that.
Yeah, you got it right. Temple Oak.
Which boiled down to it's a big stretch of territory, but it's also right next to the Camarilla, or rather contested space. So
ooh, juicy.
Exactly. It's nice prime real estate, which we will have to fight for.
When you mentioned Temple Oak, when you mentioned Temple, if you ever need any help, know who to call.
I'll be sure to pass that along.
Isn't what they say? Old territory is Sabat territory. An act of aggression against one of us is an act of aggression against all of us.
First, we've got to scout it out. That's the first thing. We definitely have to. We've got to figure out where they're at, and being of my blood, kind of an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Normally, what?
Sorry, I've heard something.
I believe the OC, doesn't the Code of Milan basically, I mean, not that every Sabbat goes for the Code of Milan, but doesn't it basically say Sabbat are supposed to protect each other from enemies of the sect? Ignoring personal enemies. It's basically like, hey, if the Camarilla show up, that's everyone's problem.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But I would, an OC on this one, I would think that, you'd have that rivalry of, I'm going to kill more Camarilla or do your job better than you so I can take your shit.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the logic, because she's the loyalist, but she's like, I just want to kill Camarilla and be better than you at it.
Exactly. I mean, that would be the art of the politics on that one is, yes, we're all in this together, but that doesn't mean you have to get all the rewards either.
Well, what I usually do when we're raiding, start with the livestock first. That's when they start getting desperate. Make mistakes. Yeah.
At risk, this might be a little bit like a scorched earth policy. But, and does anyone here have a medical background?
Is that in character?
In character, out of character?
In character, yeah.
In character? No, Spudgun doesn't.
Is this being asked in character by yours?
Yeah, this is icy.
Julian will just kind of look over and be like, depends on what you need.
Well, as he said, attack the livestock, so I'd say...
hold on, when you say livestock, do you mean...
the humans.
I was going to say, I'm not a veterinarian, but that sort of livestock I can do some basic care for.
I would imagine that infecting them with certain diseases that would make the people that feed on them a little more visible to hunters might be a good idea.
Amelia just taps Fudsquin's shoulder, and she says, "Not. It's time. See you in there." And she just lifts her fist, and all the people start to follow her in.
Aye, aye, boss.
Have fun.
Oh, always. And she grins to herself as she's walking, as she like literally taps her chest, and all the people start to follow her in.
Okay. See you guys when I see you.
Yep.
And Lila's not going in, or
I'm sorry?
was
Lola.
was Lola part of a specific pack, or?
Oh yeah, but Lola's pack's already been in. And
Oh, okay.
she's just sticking around to listen.
Okay. And I know you're also got the hangout, but I was just checking.
Hey, so OC, did you make the announcement about the sheriff yet?
Yeah, I did that before you walked in.
Okay.
Also, my character would probably present himself to Nosferatu, who made that inquiry, because he's also medically minded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always, I read about that in the books, about how if you the whole communicable diseases, and it never really seems to come up in a lot of vampire games. And I've always thought, poison the bloodstock. At that point, it's like now that really permanently screws a vampire to become a disease carrier. So.
It is a good idea by itself. However, we're kind of owning this territory at the moment, so that's kind of shooting ourselves in the leg.
You also have to be sure that everyone knows this particular vessel is infected.
Yes.
No new bodies or shovelheads make the mistake. Because then
Correct.
they're fucked, and it trails back to whoever did it. Which in this case would be you.
Correct.
Good
I think
tactical thinking, but probably not the best in this scenario.
Not strategic.
Yeah, thank you. That one.
Not fully discounting it. It does have merit, but more thought could be put into it to make it fully tactically viable.
I think that, as I said, we have to first scout the areas of the Camarilla, find their habits, find their resources, find what their strengths are and their weaknesses. I think that would be, and anyone else who is good at not being seen would be welcome to join me in doing some kind of scouting run to just figure out what they're doing. What are they up to?
Jack would nod to that and add, "It would be delightful to join you on that."
And I would be glad to have you. And what clan are you, Jack?
I carry the blood of Markov.
Well,
he just says with this dour expression on his face.
My character kind of, he looks as he's mulling it over in his head a little bit and says, "It'd be good to have a seer with us."
Cassian will come in. Or out, I suppose, is more accurate. He looks way different than the last time people saw him. He was appearance 2 before, he's now appearance 5.
On that note, Julian does not look like the same person you saw before.
My character's still the same ugly bastard as before. Just want to make that.
We are Samitsi, we can heal that. Or at least temporarily.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Not usually worth it.
No, I'll take my ugly hide over that any day.
Plus, it costs
A man's got to accept what he is.
On that note, I actually need to get going. So just assume Julian stays, tops up his reserves, and then whenever people start leaving the party, he leaves the party with his pack.
I also have to leave as well. But it was nice meeting all of you guys. Great. It was great having some IC some RP going on.
Sure. Hopefully, we get some more vampire socials soon. All right, later, folks.
Yep, later.
Later.
Night.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
And that is the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.